AllState recently signed on to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's Rally for Recovery Commitment Program as part of its continued push to accelerate vaccinations and help communities ultimately defeat the pandemic. This includes a vaccine PTO, paid time off policy for employees. Joining us now on a CNBC exclusive is AllState CEO Tom Wilson. Tom, thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Morgan.
So paid time off for employees to get vaccines. How many employees have taken you up on this? And how is it, I guess, as we're starting to think about recovery and reemergence, how is it shaping the plans you are going to be putting in place for people to perhaps come back to the office?
Well, it varies by state, of course, because we want our people to pay attention to whatever the rules are. But so we don't actually track how many people do it. But what we're trying to do is say, look, we want you to be safe. If you feel like you want to get a vaccine, we'll give you time off to do it. We are working on what we call the future of work. We don't call it return to the office. We call it future work because we think we're going to use a lot less office space in the future.
Interesting. So when you say a lot less office space, do you see this becoming something like a hybrid model, or do you have some employees that maybe will never go back to the office? Are you shedding space? What does that look like?
Well, it's both. So the first thing we're doing is we went and talked to all our employees, our managers, and said, okay, how's this working at home? Is it doing okay? What do you need? And we're finding about 60% of our work will be done permanently work from home. Now, we got to help people, give them internet access, get them chairs and desks and stuff like that. So we're working on all that. And just yesterday, we let people know which category in. The other 40%, mostly 38% of them get choice. You can decide you want to be in the office part-time, you want to be in the office full-time. We think almost everybody's going to choose part-time. The way I say that is commuting is way overrated. People just don't want to drive to the office 5 days a week. And so as a result of that, we think we'll probably use maybe half the amount of office space we have because we'll start sharing desks, which will be good for employees. They have more choice. We find that it's also better for our customers because we spend less money.
Tom, I think it's so fascinating to listen to executives sort of do the calculus on what it means to have people in the office. Amazon yesterday said they're going to go to a office-centric culture because in their view, especially when it comes to innovating and working with your coworkers, it's hard to riff with each other in the same way virtually. And I just wonder, given what you've just said, how you respond to viewpoints like that.
Well, it's really important. So we've had 20% of our employees will work from home anyway. So call centers people. Now we have claim people who also don't need to be. They're more processing people, so they don't have to be there. The 40%, we do think that being together is important, although we don't think it has to be 5 days a week. When you come to what they're really talking about is culture, and what's your culture? And it really starts with saying, what's our purpose? So last year, we redid our purpose, reaffirmed our values on diversity, talked about what behaviors we need. Then you got to figure out who do you hire, how do you promote them, how do you do performance management. But then there's the part they're really talking about is culture oftentimes is maintained in pods. So you can hire people, manage them, and say, here's our culture, but then groups of 7, 8. So we do have technology in place that enables people to work in pods, even if they're not in the office together. So I think giving them the choice of like, hey, let's all go to the office today. Let's get together. We haven't been together a while, as opposed to, it's Wednesday, it's snowing. Why am I driving an hour and a half?
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.